A quick demo of us using MCP server for Hubspot to change how we engage in updating the CRM, which is changing a lot of our experience and behavior, which is super cool because we're no longer logging in the tool. We're no longer clicking way too many times to do basic data entry. So all of that is now getting consolidated down into a prompt we can send into Claude connected via an MCP server tool into HubSpot. So I'll show you the quick setup here. If you're in a new project in Claude, this is pretty similar in ChatGPT as well, but in Claude, at least, this is how we're using this. You gotta make sure at least that you have some instructions set here. We tell it specifically the pipeline, the sales pipeline to use so that when you're updating, if you have multiple pipelines, it just knows where to put those. We want to make sure that this HubSpot connector is turned on. And that's the main thing to make sure this works properly. Once you're in it, when you kick off a new chat with this project and you've got HubSpot connected as the MCP server, which you can put some links in the video for this or in the article, then it comes down to effectively just setting simple prompts as if you would talk in natural language to somebody as an assistant that would just update HubSpot for you. And this, again, you could talk this through microphone if you had the Claude app or if you had microphone access here, which you could do just on the desktop as well. But effectively, we're asking it to create a new deal in the demo pipeline. We're going to give it a name for that deal. We're going to tell it how to associate it with which company, set myself as the owner. It knows who I am, so I don't have to define that, give it a due date, all that. And so I'm going to set it off and let it go. But what I want to show is also, while that's happening, I'll show you in the background. This is currently that demo pipeline. And so the other version would be to click on add deal, go through, define it, fill all the fields in. But ideally, by doing this, I could have gone off and done something else. So asynchronously, this is going to go off and do all of that busy work of just updating that CRM that I otherwise don't want to go spend my time doing. So walk you through kind of getting access. If it has, the first time you do this is going to ask you to grant permission when you go through it. But once you've done that a couple times, it'll automate this whole workflow through. And then it'll tell you right off the bat, it gives you these proposed changes. So this as a preview, if I just scan it quickly, it's got the deal name, it's got the stage. Actually, I didn't even tell it the stage to put in there, but it put it in the first stage of our pipeline, got the right pipeline. It's got me as the owner, it's got a close date I asked for, it set it to new business, got the lead source, and it associated it with the company that I asked it to without me defining a record ID, without me doing any of that kind of stuff. So that abstraction layer on MCP versus me hard coding an API call on this whole stuff is huge. Okay, so yes, that looks good. So you can get rid of these prompts to automate it through, which is a good example of sometimes you need to give it permission on the different API that's calling behind the scenes or the MCP server interaction. So this is it did the work and it also gave me a link directly over to the record it created. And so now if I pop back in here and refresh, we should see a new item. So there's now a new that showed up in this sales pipeline. And if I look at it, it's got everything created for it. The name, it's no amount, I didn't give it an amount, close date, pipeline, the actual deal stage. It's got client referral as the lead source. So kind of nailed it. And it associated it with the company that I asked it to. And if I had given it information on the contact as well, it would have done the same thing. So super cool. Mess around with it. Reporting is also a super cool thing on this that maybe we'll do a follow-up video on, but you can ask it to give you a report on the state of your deal stages, or ask it which deals updated in the last 7 days for me. Show me a report, give me links to the deals, and summarize anything that's overdue, and it'll nail it. So pretty cool.